Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. This is the next installment of my While I Was Out series where I show you all kinds of eyeshadow looks that I have done off camera. I believe this is episode number 12. I have an entire While I Was Out playlist, which I can card above and link below if you want to see other videos. Every single video includes at least 8 looks, sometimes up to 11 or 12. So if you want to see just lots and lots of eyeshadow looks and talk about the palettes and the other products that I use to get there, then this is definitely for you. So stick around, I've got 10 more looks to share with you today. I'm going to scoot to the side here. Today's look is going to be talked about in today's video, but I did after the fact add on this lip product. This is the Smooth Whip from NYX in the shade Latte Foam. This is a beautiful formula. It's very creamy, it's very smooth, it's very soft. It's not, it's matte, but it's not very drying, which has always been my previous experience with matte formulas, and I just love this color. So anyway, that's what I'm wearing now. But now let's talk about these eyeshadow looks. I am going to number these for you guys. If you want, you can reference in the comments below which ones you like the most, and then we can talk even more about eyeshadow. Oh, and I have to say, in several of these clips, I was wearing a purple t-shirt, actually pretty similar to this color, only more purple. We had a vacation Bible school at our church and I was helping as one of the volunteers, and that was our shirt for the week. So a lot of these looks happened during vacation Bible school when I didn't have time to film, but I did have time to do eyeshadow. Starting with look number 1. For look number 1, I'm using the Aura palette from Ace Beauté. I put black in my waterline and I've got the ColourPop lip oil in the shade Hay. I just couldn't decide what palette I wanted to use on this day, so I had my daughter randomly choose a number between 1 and 30, which is actually fewer palettes than I have, but I didn't want to sit there and count them all. I think I'm a little over 40 at this point. Anyway, she picked one from 30 and this was the number that we landed on. I was expecting myself to stay kind of grungy with these colors, but I ended up adding in the berry shimmer instead, and I really just loved the way it looked. It transformed everything quite a bit. It was super pigmented. These mattes are no joke. This is the new formulation from Ace Beauté. They're not kidding around, and every time I use this palette, I just love the final result. I got the Aura and the Envy palette at the same time, and I expected that Envy would be my favorite. In fact, I wasn't even gonna get Aura. It just happened to come with Envy for a good price. But this palette, I love it. It's beautiful. It gives me such gorgeous looks. The shimmers in this palette, actually the shimmers from Ace Beauté in general, are very, very pigmented, very impactful. If you don't want them to be super, super high shine, then you can do what I did in this video, which is where I used the shimmer on a brush dry. And then I used the Festival palette from Juvia's Place. It's an eyeshadow palette, but I've repurposed it to be a face palette because there are 6-7 shades in there that I can use as blush or highlighters. I used the red matte in that palette as a blush. Really intense. For look number 2, I used the Sashimi City from Kaleidos. I used a peach in my waterline. It's from ColourPop, but I can't remember the name of it. Maybe Bay Breeze. It's all worn off the package. My lips are sporting the Italia Deluxe lip liners in the shade 1065 Terracotta, and then on top of that, I put the glowing lip from ColourPop in the shade Candy Kisses. This was my first time using this palette from Kaleidos, and this is not a new palette, it's several years old. I was very impressed with the quality of this palette. The mattes were so easy to blend and build. They were just very, very user-friendly, but not like they didn't spray out everywhere. They kind of stayed where you wanted them to stay, but were just so easy to work with, and the shimmers were really pretty. They're both just sparkly and light. This was a very fast look, actually. It was just a couple minutes per eye, which is a testament to the quality of the formula. Honestly, it was very easy and quick to do. This could be done in a rush. The pink shimmer that I used actually pulled a little bit more pink than expected, more pink than I expected. And I think that was partly because the packaging has a lot of purple in it, and there's actually kind of a slight purple hue in the pan. I expected the shimmer to pull more purple, but it actually ended up being pink. Maybe that has something to do with the undertones of the shimmer and the undertones of the matte, really, but honestly, I really enjoyed working with this and I had no problems at all. Today for this video, as I said, I changed up the lip, but I am wearing the Desert Monsoon palette from What's Up Beauty. My waterline is the shade Crystal Crush from ColourPop, which is a lovely, very rich blue, kind of a pool blue. I've got the Kofa Non-Moonlight highlighter. Can you guys see that? I put on a little bit more than usual because I really wanted it to show up. It's from Nomad. It's a beautiful blue purple. And then in this video on my lips, I'm wearing the This Is Milky Gloss from NYX in the shade Mint Chocolate Chip. I actually did this look because a friend of mine said that she had this palette and the blue shimmer scared her. So I kind of wanted to dive into it and use it as the focal point of the look and just see what I could do with it. Bringing in the pink shimmer to the inner lid and corner kept the look from going too smoky. And then I added a lighter shimmer on the lower lash line, like the inner third or so of the lower lash line to further brighten the look. So it was smoky, but not overly smoky. I love the waterline color in today's look because I was thinking, oh, I should do black. No, maybe purple. And then I thought, well, blue, but a blue that's a different undertone. This waterline is a very summery blue, and the blue that I'm wearing on my lid is not at all. So it was still working with the look, but also contrasting with the look, and that just made it more interesting. I love doing a pop of color, something unexpected in the waterline or the inner corner. The quality of the Desert Monsoon palette is exactly what I expected. It's just as good as their Geodes palette, and you'll see later in this video I have the Dragonfly palette as well. Yeah, so I've got all three of them and they're all great. Look number 4, I was using the Geodes palette from What's Up Beauty. What's Up Beauty makes a lot of appearances in today's video because I just got Monsoon and I use it a bunch of times. Anyway, in the waterline, I put down white first and then I put orange on top, and that kind of gave me a more pastel, milky sort of orange. And then on my lips, I again have the NYX This Is Milky Gloss, this time in the shade Mango Lassie. This was kind of smoky again, but more neutral smoky. I really love the shimmers from What's Up Beauty, but honestly, the mattes, they're so buttery and silky. They're incredibly easy to work with. They remind me of Sydney Grace mattes, maybe Blend Bunny mattes as well. I haven't tried many neutrals from Blend Bunny, and I have noticed that some formulas have a different performance between neutrals and colors. I did notice that with Kaleidos. Anyway, the quality of every shimmer I've ever used from What's Up is top tier. I have found that the brown shimmer, at least in this video, the brown shimmer on my lid is kind of tricky. I can see that it's shifting, but I can't quite tell which direction it's shifting when I actually put it into a look paired with other colors and mattes. Like, it's sort of brown neutral, yes, but is it shifting pink or gold or silver? I see a couple different colors in here. It might also be a little bit harder to tell because I've also added the yellow shimmer to this look, so that might be pulling the multi-chrome in a different direction. The shimmers in the What's Up Beauty palettes are quite shifty. Very few of them actually are just one color. Usually they're at least two, and then they morph a little bit depending on which mattes you pair them with. This is an amazing neutral look for a color lover. Okay, so I did just get the Dragonfly palette from What's Up Beauty. This came in this week at the time of my filming. This is the first time I'm using the palette. I'm pairing it with the NYX Smooth Whip in the shade Fuzzy Slippers, and then on top of that, I decided to make it more of a deep cranberry color by taking the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Cranberry Pie, and just, I mean, it wasn't matte anymore, obviously, but I wanted to bring in the color of Cranberry Pie. This was my first time using the palette, and again, I filmed this like 4 days ago, maybe even 2 days ago. I just had to use that multi-chrome in the palette. It's this lovely, rich, green gold goodness. So pretty, perfectly on the theme. Like, it reminded me of a dragon with the scales and the colors. Lovely. The mattes in this palette are definitely more pinky purple leaning. They are so pretty. Even the more neutral ones have kind of a floral undertone to them. I did pop a bright shimmer at the inner corner, and it was so bright. It was so pigmented. It was so hello, just really woke up that inner area. This palette, unsurprisingly, was just as easy to use as the other two palettes from the brand, and honestly, I think it might be my favorite one just because the color story is so lovely. It's not grungy and it's not standard and expected. It's different. It's another step up in terms of what they're giving us. I just mean the color story is a little bit more interesting, and I am here for it. I think it's gorgeous. For look number 6 now, I used the Natasha Denona Retro palette. I put white in my waterline, and I'm wearing the NYX Smooth Whip in the shade Teddy Fluff. A subscriber has requested that I use this palette more. I'm gonna say it's not the most exciting palette, but it's very consistent, and I really like the looks that I get from it. It's just not, you know, it's not as wild as most of my palettes, honestly. But it's good. It's very, very good. I have been impressed with the shimmers from Natasha Denona. I'm finding that I'm less interested in the extremely thick, really emollient shimmers. I just want more lightweight shimmers. I've been saying this for a while now. So while Natasha Denona is a little bit more of a traditional formula, it's still a step above a lot of the things that I've tried, and it's closer to the indie brands that I like. I think this is pretty. Honestly, it's very pretty. It's rather standard. It's not super stimulating, but it's good quality, and it's a nice soft look. I love the matte inner corner. I find that soft berry tones are very easy to play with, and I think that they tend to look good on a lot of different skin tones, whether you're warm or cool, whether you're neutral or like blue leaning. I just think that this color story can look good on lots of people, and maybe that's the draw, honestly. I'm not a makeup artist, I don't know, but let me know if you want to see more videos using the Natasha Denona palette. Like if you want a week of Natasha Denona or just a couple more videos to get different ideas, let me know. Here in look number 7, I used the Winter Wonderland palette from Cosmic Beauty. I put a deep purple in my waterline. The shade is called Champs from ColourPop. And then on my lips, I'm wearing the tinted lip oil from Burt's Bees in the shade Showering Sunset. I am using the frosting highlighter, also from Cosmic Beauty. I feel like I can't see that highlighter on my face, so I don't know if I'm not turning my face into the light enough that you can actually see it, or if I just didn't put on enough that was really visible. I don't know. Can you see it? The shade Atmosphere in the Winter Wonderland palette is peacock perfection. It is beautiful blue, green, purple shifting gloriousness. It's so pretty. It's quite a dark shimmer, but it really does just add so much to the look. I did pair it with kind of a pinky inner corner. So pretty. At the end of the day, I did not want to take off this look. And I think that this palette is proving to be a little bit more versatile than the impression I was getting from its promo photos. I think the promo photos are beautiful, but they're very, very blue, like cold blue heavy. And this palette is not just blues. There are lots of blues, lots of purples, also shifting shades that might lean a little more pink. You've got teals in here. I think that if they had made the promo photos a little bit less blue, it would have helped people understand that this palette can do more than just blue. Here is look number 8, and I used 2 different palettes from Udenzai for this one. I used the Hella palette with Angelica Nyquist, and I used the Sea Talk, which is a collab with Lauren May Beauty. I put a light metallic green from ColourPop into my waterline. I'm pretty sure that shade is called Aglow from their Lush Life collection a couple of years ago. I'm wearing the Nomad Kofan on Moonlight highlighter, which is the one that I'm wearing today, blue purple. Can you see it? I'll find out in editing if you guys can actually see that. And then the Super Shock Cheek in the shade No Vacancy, that's also a ColourPop product. And the next, this is Milky Gloss in Mint Choco Chip. I don't usually put all of these other details. I don't know why I took my video with all of those. But anyway, that's what I'm wearing today. My daughter picked these palettes. She really thought that I was going to go heavily into the pink and green, but I decided to use the brown and yellows from Sea Talk, and then do kind of pinky purples on the lid from Hella, and then just do a pop of green on the lower lash line. This was gorgeous. I loved the shimmers. Of course, I always love Udenzai shimmers, and I love the matte inner corner highlight. Even if you put shimmer on top, to have a foundational matte inner corner that spreads out further and then put the shimmer in a smaller space is always a win. The multi-chrome from the Hella palette, I put that on the inner part of the lower lash line, and it looked so good. It's so striking, just this light peachy pinky color. I really liked this look. Here, look number 9, I used Amber Tears from the Saga of Freya collection from Udenzai, also rather an old collection, and I paired it with the Paper Pansy lip oil from ColourPop. I wanted to try this palette. It was given to me by another YouTuber. I was interested in seeing the quality, the performance after so many years. I have the Cat's Breath palette, which is the sister to this palette from the same collection, and I've never had any problem with the formula, so I didn't expect to. I was just curious. This is a much more neutral palette than that one. This one is neutrals and pinks and lavender tones. It's quite light. It's really pretty. I do wish it had one pan that was deeper. I think that I brought in a darker shade, maybe even black. Just, hey, what do I have right here? I'd probably just grab the Festival palette and use the black. I think that's what I did, simply to deepen the outer corner, but I don't remember exactly. There's really not much to say about this. I mean, it's a great palette when you're in a nice soft mood. The color story kind of reminded me of Kaleido's Sashimi City. The palette can go more neutral than this if you wanted to. I just wish it had a little bit of a deeper shade as an option. My baby's waking up, so I'm going to finish out this video with look number 10. Her timing's pretty good. Here again, I used the Monsoon palette from What's Up Beauty. Again, it has just come into my collection, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm not gonna apologize for using something new. My waterline, I used a light pink from ColourPop in the shade Fluffy, and then I've got the tinted lip oil from Burt's Bees. I had to try the neutrals for this palette. I had used a lot of the colors, and I just wanted to try the neutrals. I stayed mainly in the browns until it was time to put shimmer everywhere, and then I grabbed that multi-chrome, like a peachy, pinky, fiery sort of color, and I put that, well, everywhere. It was kind of light, kind of fiery. This is just a perfect neutral with a twist kind of look, I think. I hope you can't hear my baby. She's getting mad at me. I gotta finish up. Perfect neutral with a twist. It was very simple mattes, and then hello, that's exciting, you know, with the shimmer. I put the green gold shade on the lower lash line to ground it a little bit, but then I put pink in the waterline, which kept it kind of playful. I am very clearly and unabashedly enjoying this palette. My little one was hollering, so I thought maybe she was trapped in her crib, but what do you have? Turns out she just really wanted to get up. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you for being here. Do let me know in the comments which of these looks have been your favorite. Where are you going? Yeah. I have to let you go. I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing before you go. If you enjoy this content and you want to see more, be sure to check the description box for that week of playlist. There are so many looks in there. I don't have time to film them all. I can't make a video for every look, but I love doing them and I love sharing them with you. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.